Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Beautiful Blessed Butterfly. And today we're going to talk about True Seeker. But first, I'm going to read Luke
Truth.
chapter 1, verse 3, which says, having carefully investigated everything from the beginning, I too decide to write an orderly account for you. Now, to get into the story about True Seeker. Ruben once told me about a disagreement that was tearing our church apart. What's the disagreement about? I asked. Whether the earth is flat? She said. A few months later, news broke of a Christian man who burst into a restaurant armed to rescue children supposedly being abused in its back room. There was no back room, and the man was arrested. In both cases, the people involved were acting on
Conspiracy.
conspiracy.
Theories.
There is they read on the internet. Believing Jesus are called to be good citizens, and good citizens don't speak misinformation. Misinformation. In Luke, the numerous story circulated about Jesus. Some of them were
Inaccurate.
inaccurate. Instead of passing on everything he heard, Luke
Essentially.
became an investigated journalist talking to eyewitnesses, researching everything from the beginning, and writing his findings into a gospel that contained name, quote, and
Historical.
historical fact based on people with first-hand knowledge, not unverified claim. We can do the same. Since false information can split churches and put lives at risk, checking fact is an act of loving our neighbor. When a
Sensational.
sensational story comes our way, we can verify it. Claim with
Qualified.
qualified, accountable, expect being truth seeker, not error spreader.
Spreaders.
Spreaders, trust and act bring credibility to the gospel. After all, we worship the one who's full of truth. Now,
Spreaders.
to get into the story, let's go into the Bible. Let's go to Luke chapter 1, verse 3. And it says, with this in mind, since I myself have carefully investigated everything from the beginning, I too decide to write an orderly account for you. Most excellent
Theophilus.
Theophilus lives. Now let's go to Romans chapter 13, verse 1 to 7. So we are still in the New Testament. And it said, let everyone be subject to the governing authority, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authority that exists has been established by God. Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted.
Consequently.
Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has. Instituted, and those who do so will bring judgment on themselves. For a ruler holds no terror for those who do right, but for those who do wrong, do you want to be free from fear of the one in authority? Then do what is right, and you will be commandment. Command. For the one in authority is God's servant for your good. But if you do wrong, be afraid, for rulers do not bear the sword for no reason. They are God's against servant, agents of worth. Wow, who bring punishment on the wrong wanderer. Wrongdoer. Therefore, it is necessary to submit to authority, not only because of possible punishment, but also as a matter of conscience.
Conscience.
As a matter of conscience. This is also why you pay taxes, for authority are God's servants, who give their full time to governing. Give to everyone what you owe them. If you owe taxes, pay taxes. If revenue, then revenue. If respect, then respect. If honor, then honor. Now let's go to Luke chapter 1:1. And it says, may have undertaken to draw up an account of the things that have been fulfilled among us. Now let's go into the question for today. And it says,
Conspiracy.
what do you think conspiracy
Theories.
theorists spread so quickly? And how can you be a true seeker? That is your question for today. Now for the first one, how do you think conspiracy theories spread so quickly? Is because everyone listened to a person who was not telling the truth. That's how things start to spread, especially in church, in our work, school, everywhere we go, even at home. So, so does a person finding out the truth from the actual person, you getting mad at something you don't know if it's true or not from that person, and that person who says something is lying about another person that they said this and that about you, and you get upset and everything just start to happen. And so what you have to do is certain things is full of information. Just like when we go into churches, we have four prophets because they go in the church and start preaching about something, and at the end of the day, they tell you what you should not be doing in the church, and yet they doing the same thing. So you see, that can make you for a prophet. You preaching about loving your neighbor, and you don't even love on your neighbor, while you telling people who listen to their family, probably listen to what the children are saying, but yet you're not listening to your children. You're the opposite of listening to your children. You just hurting their feelings more than what they already feeling. And so they're doing for everyone, we need to be truth seekers, and we need to stop gossiping about things that ain't true, and go to that person that they says something and ask them, is it true or not? Because at the end of the day, rumors make bad things happen. And just like it said in Isaiah chapter 26, verse 9, my soul yearns for you in the night. In the morning, my spirit longs for you. When your judgment come upon the earth, the people of the world learn righteousness. But instead of judging somebody and not know if it's truth, instead of laughing at them, ask them personally if it's true. And if it's not true, you know the truth, and you can start a truth seeker. You can start another rumor by telling the truth and say, no, that person was lying. And stop gospeling. Gospel is the one, gospeling is the thing that starts fights and things like that. And that's how fight begins to happen, because, and that's how feelings get hurt. That's how people suicide, if you don't know the truth. They'll laugh at the person and help them. John chapter 3, verse 20 to 21, it says that everyone who does evil hate the light and will not come into the light for fear that their deed will be exposed. But whoever lives by the truth come into the light, so that it may be seen plainly that what they had done had been done in the sight of God. In the same way as when you're finding, it's the same way, like if you want to be a founder, defender, or seeker. In Jeremiah 29:13 said, God said you will seek me and find me. When you seek me with all your heart, want to find God. And so Proverbs 5:21 said, "For your ways are in full view of the Lord, and He
examines,
examines all your path." And I rated this one, German 9:13. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. And Matthew 22:37-38 said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment." And so you see, be careful on what you spread. You want to know the truth. Ask somebody and stop spreading all that hate and rumors about things that are not true. And why is it spreading? And that's how people feeling get hurt. Because conspiracy is like it said in Isaiah chapter 8 verse 12. Do not call conspiracy everything these people call a conspiracy. Do not fear what they fear, and do not dwell it. Psalm 64 chapter 2 says, "Hide me from the conspiracy of the wicked, from the plot of evildoer."
evildoers,
Evildoers. Jeremiah chapter 11 verse 9 says, "Then the Lord said to me, there is a conspiracy among the people of Judah and those who live in Jerusalem." And you don't know what conspiracy means.
Conspiracy.
You don't know what conspiracy means. It means a secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. She served 5 years in prison for taking part in a conspiracy to sell stolen artwork. And that's what it means. And so I think that's all I'm going to read about that one. And now I'm going to move on to the next one.
Theories.
And yep, that was all of it. So do not call conspiracy
Conspiracy. Conspiracy.
do not call conspiracy everything that people call a conspiracy. Do not fear what they fear and do not dwell it. So that's Isaiah 8:12. And you can always read more chapters about it. That's all I'm going to read. Now for the next question, how can you be a true seeker? First Kings chapter 22 verse 16 says this. The king said to him, how many times must I make you swear to tell me nothing but the truth in the name of the Lord? And then 2 Chronicles chapter 18 verse 15 said, the king said to him, how many times must I make you swear to tell me nothing but the truth in the name of the Lord? John chapter 16 verse 13 says this, but when he, the Spirit of truth, comes, he will guide you into all the truth. He will not speak on his own, He will speak only what he hear, and he will speak only what he hear, and he will tell you what is yet to come. So how can you be a truth seeker? By telling the truth, spreading nothing but the truth, and tell the truth and don't spread evil things. Tell the truth. Like when you go to the church and you're doing a testimony, tell the truth. Don't say what you think people want to hear. Giving a testimony, you telling nothing but the truth. And at the end of the day, the truth will set you free. And no matter what you go through, you gotta give a testimony at the church. Tell the truth and don't spread lies. Cause even if you decided to spread lies in the church while you're telling your testimony, it's not helping you, but the ones that are listening, you might be helping them. Even though you're giving testimony, you're not telling the truth. But actually happened, you're just telling people what they want to hear. You at the end of the day is lying to yourself. You're lying to the people in the congregation, and you're lying to Jesus. So, but you never know. At the end of the day, a person might come up to you, well, I can't believe it. What you said, it made me want to get up and tell my story, tell my testimony. But at the end of the day, you help somebody else out. Even though you lie, you still can help other people. But lying is not gonna get nowhere. Always tell the truth, because you never know what a person might do. Maybe that person want to help you out, and at the end of the day, you're back and lie. It's gonna make the other person feel bad because they thought they was helping you what you're going through, but yet you lie. First John chapter 2 verse 8 says, yet I am writing you a new command. Its truth is seen in him and in you, because the darkness is passing and the truth light is already shining. Third John chapter 1 verse 3 said this, it gave me great joy when some believers came and testified about your faithfulness to the truth, telling how you continue to walk in it. And that's why it's good to tell the truth. no matter what the situation may be, no matter what you're going through, telling the telling the truth is what you have to do. And stop lying about something that's not proof about yourself. Stop making up stories that's not truth about you or your family. And but especially yourself. Because God already know the truth. But you lying to yourself. And while you're sitting there lying thing about yourself and about other things, you can speak it into addiction. And so you have to be careful on what you say and what you do. Say that your tongue is powerful. And God, you need to be careful on what you're saying. It's true. Don't matter what other people think about you. If they come on to you to say no, what would that person want? What would that person say? It is not true because that never happened. And so you have to choose your battle, when to fight, when not to fight. But telling the truth is so important. It's just like if you don't have a dad in your life or a mom in your life and you want to know the truth about why they're not in your life and yet they won't tell you the truth because they figure it won't bother you or they figure you don't need to know the truth and it's not gonna really do no good. But to give yourself peace and give the other person peace, y'all both just need to, work it out or to say how you feel and tell the truth. So always tell the truth no matter what you're going through, no matter what your situation may be. Tell the truth. So in John chapter 4 verse 23 and 24 said it, yet a time is coming and has now come when the true worshiper will worship the Father in the Spirit and in truth, for they are the kind of worshiper the Father seeks. God is spirit, and his worshiper must worship in the Spirit and in truth. So God is the Spirit. So when you're worshiping God and you start no matter where you're at and you worship God, most people will start to feel the Spirit is because God is the Spirit. So God knows who are the true worshipers. And when you start to feel the Spirit, you just letting go of everything that you're going through. And you could tell the ones that are true worshipers. So them may speak in tongues, and most of them will start start the quiet stuff because they are in the spirit and don't know what that person is going through. That person could be going through a sickness, a disease, anything, a loss of a child, of a family member. Don't matter. If you if you truly love God and you tell him the truth when you worship God, God knows the difference of a true seeker will tell the truth and do nothing but the truth because it's time out from 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 playing with God because God looking for people that are true worshipers or and true seekers. That God is the Spirit, cause like God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, He is the Spirit. And when people feel the Spirit, you already know God is working on something with that particular person, and you just letting go of everything that you've been going through. You're letting go of the pain. Of, you're letting go of the struggle. You're letting go of the headache and depression and anxiety, and that's why it's so. That's why it's so important to tell the truth. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 13 to 14 said that, and you also were included in Christ when you heard the message of truth, the gospel of your salvation. When you believed, you were marked in him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit, who is a deposit guaranteeing our inheritance until the redemption of those who are God's past possession to the praise to his glory. And so
Deposit. Redemption. Possessions.
possession to the praise of his glory. Colossians chapter 1 verse 5 says that the faith and love that bring from the hope store up for you in heaven and about which you have already heard in the true message of the gospel. So you guys always tell the truth, no matter what you're going through, no matter what the situation may be. God loves you. There's no need to lie. There's no reason for you to lie. And I'm gonna leave it right here too. And it right there. And because there's no need for you to worry. Stop lying to yourself. Stop trying to be something that you are not, and just tell the truth. And let those people you hung out with be. Don't even leave those people you hung out with because those people are not your friends. they only using you so you can get in trouble and so they can have a alibi and say they would and say something and maybe at the end of the day they gonna turn against you and you gonna be one in trouble because they gonna make themselves not get in trouble and you just gonna know what to do because you should never hung out with them if they was bad news. Just like in John chapter 14 verse 6 says, Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So always tell the truth. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 20 to 21. That, however, is not the way of life you learned when you heard about Christ and what was taught in him according with the truth that is in Jesus. So always tell the truth no matter what you're going through, no matter what the situation may be. Just tell the truth. Matthew chapter 7 verse 24, 25, 26 through 27 says, therefore everyone who hears the word of mine and put them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on a rock. The rain came down, the steam rose, and the wind blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fail because it had a foundation on a rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the steam rose, and the wind blew and beat against the house, and it fell with a great crash. And so you see there, Matthew 7:7 says, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receive. The one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks the door will open. Which of you, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then thought you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 16 through 17. All scripture is God's breath and is useful for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training in righteousness, so that the servant of God may be truly equipped for every good work. John 6:44-45. No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draw them, and I will raise them up at the last day. It is written in the prophet, they will all be taught by God. Everyone who has heard the Father and learned from him come to him. Matthew 17 verse 5. While he was still speaking, a bright cloud covered them, and a voice from the cloud said, This is my son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him. In First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21 say that. But test them all, hold on to what is good. 22 said, reject every kind of evil. Verse 19 said, do not quench the spirit. Verse 20 said, do not treat prophecy with contempt. And so, it's a different. And I know, how do we find the truth? What is the truth? Why is it important? How do you find it in the midst of a trouble lie and people just lying and stuff, right? What will it do for you? The truth leads to freedom, life, and peace. These are just some of the blessings of finding the truth of God in Jesus Christ. And you guys just talk to God, and if you lied to something in the church, just say you lied. Instead of lying about something and having a person help you with something, which especially ain't true, is a lie. And you can even say this prayer: Father, help me discern truth from error as your spirit guides me. Just ask God to help you find the truth from error as your spirit guide you. Just ask God. Just ask your Father to help you with what you're going through, no matter what the situation may be. Ask Him to help you. Just tell the truth. Don't hang around someone that is lying all the time. Because eventually they're going to use you, and they too will stop lying on you. And then you will wonder out where this rumor is coming from. It's coming from the one who hang around with. And from the one you hanging out with. They the one lying on you and things like that. It's choose who you gonna serve. Are you gonna serve an idol or God? And make sure you choose God, because God is the one that does miracle worker. God is the one that's a healer. God is the one that gave us freedom. He the one that forgave us for our sins. He the one that died for us. He was the one that loved us. He was the first one to love us, no matter what it was. Any other God you're trying to serve ain't there to help you. You choose to worship the devil, choose to worship the devil. The devil is not going to help you with what you're going to do. The devil is just going to sit there only come to kill and destroy. That is all what the devil's good for. The devil ain't good for nothing. And it never was good for anything. And so that's why you gotta choose who you're gonna serve. Don't worship in that fight. That is why the Lord said it. Don't worship any other God except of Him. Can't worship God and still doing evil things. You have to choose who you're going to worship. Either go listen to the man above Like this, continue to listen to the devil. To choose who's going to serve. To choose who's going to serve this day. But